How's it going, everybody? It is Visual. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle versus Kevin over here in the OU tier. So, this team I'm using is made by Austrian George. Really cool team with Mega Latios. We got Ice Beam on there. We got Draco Meteor, Earthquake, and Recover. He leads off with the good old sporting goods of Landorus T, and they always got their Landorus Teals on every single OU team. But this time we're not using one. We got 3 trappers on this team as well. Magnezone with Magnet Pull. We got Azumarill Sap Sipper with Whirlpool Perish Song. Really nice. Nice defensive Azumarill as well. Really good typing Water Fairy. And then we have Pursuit Trapping Tyranitar. Max HP, Max Attack, Assault Vest. With Ice Beam, just to catch maybe Landorus T's or Zygardes off guard. Potentially. You never really know. So anyways, I just throw off an Ice Beam as he just hard switches into Greninja. Unfortunately, I did not catch that Landorus T, just hard switch, so I'm thinking he's not Choice Scarfed, as he probably just wants to throw off a Dark Pulse with Greninja, I was expecting, but he turns out to be Protein, so that is good to know. He is going to be faster than every Pokemon on my team, unfortunately, even if I get +1 speed of Kartana, since I am running a Swords Dance Last Resort Kartana with Timid Nature, so that every time you get that Beast Boost, you get +1 speed. We're running a lot of HP on there, a lot of speed, and a little bit of special defense, just to, give it some more bulk. Kartana has really bad special defense. It might need it from some priority Water Shurikens and Rain or something, I don't know. But in comes the Top Coco as it U-turns with the Greninja on my Azumarill. I just want to protect him, maybe scout what kind of type of Coco it is, and also get some more Leftovers recovery, because it's always good to get some more Leftovers recovery. You never know when you might need it. So, Volt Switch, I'm thinking at least that's going to be a Life Orb, maybe a Shuka Berry, or it could just be Specs. I most of the time think it's Specs with Volt Switch, but it could be probably one of those two. I don't think it would be like Scarf type of Coco, because usually they have U-turn with that, and also maybe it's not going to be like a physical type Coco as well, so that's good to know, because Top Coco could really just be anything, honestly. Very versatile Pokemon. So you just got to scout and see what it's going to do. So I bring in Ferrothorn as he Volt Switches into the Landorus T. So I'm like, alright, Landorus T is not that threatening against a Ferrothorn, right? Nope, he got the Swords Dance on deck, and I'm like, oh, well, time to pick a Pokemon against this as I get my Rocks up. So getting Rocks up is nice, chip away his team a little bit, but still, it's kind of scary. The Rocks do help a lot since he does have Skarmory. I can break it sturdy. Also, potentially weaken Mawile, even though Mawile only takes 6% every single time it switches in onto Rocks, but it could be nice for the Last Resort Kartana, because I do want to try and win with that. So, he throws off the Z move over here. I'm like, alright, well, goodbye, Ferrothorn. Flying Beam Z +2, you're not going to live that, and plus this Ferrothorn is more especially defensive. I do have a plus defense nature on it. I think it's relaxed, because we have Gyro Ball on this Ferrothorn as well. Leech Seed protect Rocks. But yeah, you're not living that at all. This is a Landorus T. It's probably Jolly Nature as well. And it could be Adamant, but Jolly's just a lot better. Outspeeds a lot more Pokemon in OU tier. So I'm going to bring in my Latios over here. I know I can outspeed the Landorus. I'm pretty sure I knew, because from the beginning he just hard switched on my Mega Latios. He should not be Choice Scarf and have no U-turn and just hard switches. So he just brings in Shaniqua over here, and I'm just going to throw off an Ice Beam like I said, as that's some good chip on the Mega Mawile. I could potentially knock it out. Maybe with an Earthquake at this range, but I am scared of Sucker Punch. I think it has a chance to one-shot me, because I think I'm running minus defense nature Mega Latios, because you want to have extra power with Earthquake. Yeah, I'm running Hasty Nature, plus speed, minus defense, so Sucker Punch will do a ton of damage. So I bring in Magnezone over here, hoping to predict a Sucker Punch, but this man predicted my booty. He goes for the Focus Punch, and that is huge, because losing Magnezone is just horrible for me, because I wanted to trap that Skarmory, then that's one step closer for Kartana winning the game, and potentially even trapping the Mega Mawile, because I know I can live a Sucker Punch from full, but sheesh. Well, this is going to be a lot harder game. I was like, okay, I don't think I can win at all, but I'll still try. Like, always give the opponent maybe a chance to choke or something like that, or also just let them knock out all my Pokemon, because I don't really like to, forfeit right in the middle of the game, even though if I think I have no shot, you never really know. The opponent could choke. So just going to try and Swords Dance up as he just brings in the Skarmory. I'm like, alright, yeah, he's just going to probably, like, recover or Roost and maybe even counter, so I'm not going to go for Last Resort, and plus Last Resort will do nothing to Skarmory at +2. So I bring in a Azumarill, kind of hoping that he won't have Whirlwind, because then I can trap this thing, so there might still be a shot as well. He just defogs them away, my Stealth Rocks at least, so now that's kind of bad. Every time Skarmory switches out, its sturdy is going to be intact, but over here I do get the Whirlpool off, which is very, very nice. Now I go for the Perish Song, but I was faster, so now I'm like, oh yeah, he just has Whirlwind, because I'm pretty sure Azumarill was slower than Skarmory. So that's pretty unfortunate, but at least the Skarmory isn't forced to stay in, it's forced to switch out with Perish Song up. So Whirlwinds me into Tyranitar, not the best, but he doesn't know what kind of Tyranitar I am, so maybe I can catch him off guard, maybe he can go into Landorus T over here, predicting like a Banded Stone Edge, and I can catch him with an Ice Beam, so I just throw off an Ice Beam. And also Ice Beam does hit Skarmory pretty hard. I mean, Skarmory could be especially defensive, but most of them are more defensive at least, physically defensive. So he gets his Stealth Rocks up, I'm just going to try and Ice Beam like I said. Does nothing, maybe I could get a Freeze as well. I don't get anything. Perish count drops down to 2, so he's just not going to stay in over here. Maybe he doesn't have really anything else, like Spikes. I think he just has probably like Roost, Counter, Whirlwind, and Stealth Rock, I would guess. So he brings in the Greninja over here. I actually went for a Earthquake because I was predicting to probably want to go for a Roost and keep the Skarmory healthy. Just because maybe he's fearing a Swords Dance Fighting Z Kartana. That's at least what I would fear, but I am just running Metronome on there. Because Metronome is nice when you keep hitting Last Resort, Last Resort, Last Resort, it gets powerful and more powerful. So that's pretty much what Metronome does when you use the same attacking move over and over again. I think it starts out from like only 10% up to double the power, I'm pretty sure, within 5 turns. I don't know. Could be wrong. But anyways, in comes Landorus T. Luckily, the Greninja goes down to the sand right there after that Earthquake. Nice Adamant Tyranitar, putting it in range. So now I'm just going to bring in my Latios. Since he was Swords Dance Flying Z, I was like, yeah, he probably doesn't have much to hit my Latios with the Landorus T. Usually they are just Swords Dance, Fly, Earthquake, and maybe like, I don't know, Rock Polish, Stone Edge, Knockoff. I don't think they would have U-Turn. Since his rocker was Skarmory, maybe it's Defog. No, actually, it could be, you know, double Defog or double Rocks, because I've seen teams have that as well. So I just throw off an Ice Beam. He actually goes into Dragonite over here. And I was actually kind of curious what kind of Dragonite it is. Not Leftovers, because you don't see anything, so it's not a bulky one. Ice Beam did a lot. Unfortunately, I did get a 10% freeze right there, which is kind of bad for him. But I outsped Dragonite, so I don't know. He probably would have just sacked it right there. I'm not too sure. I think after this game, I'll spoil it. He was banded Dragonite, he told me. Since, you know, his Z mover is Landorus, and usually Dragonites are Z moves, so I wasn't too sure. But yeah, in comes Mawile on the Ice Beam. I'm just going to switch into my Azumarill, predict the Sucker Punch right there. He could maybe potentially throw off a Play Rough. That's kind of bad. That's why I was kind of scared of as well. But maybe he's scared of me just knocking out his Mawile and me living at Play Rough, because maybe he's scared of me having, like, Liquidation. I think Azumarill learns that. You don't really want to run Waterfall anymore. So maybe he's just scared of that. He just wants to switch out into Tapu Koko, as I just throw off a Whirlpool. But he should know that I am a defensive Azumarill that can't really do much. Maybe he doesn't even have Play Rough, even though that would be weird. But I've seen some Mega Mawiles without Play Rough. Like, they could run like Fire Fang, Ice Punch, Sucker Punch, maybe Knockoff, Iron Head. Really, Mega Mawile could run a lot of moves, and maybe even just Swords Dance on him. Because he did have Focus Punch, so maybe he's like substitute Focus Punch, is what I would guess. And Sucker Punch, and then what else would be the move? Iron Head? But no Play Rough kind of sucks. So maybe he can't even touch me. Maybe he has Fire Fang in the back as well, but Fire Fang doesn't make sense with Focus Punch anyways. Maybe Ice Punch on there, I don't know. For Gliscors and Landorus Ts and Zygardes at least, because it can one-hit KO a lot of those guys. So anyways, I Whirlpool the Tapu Koko. I'm just going to go for a Protect and just get some more chip damage up on the Tapu Koko as much as possible. And now I'm just going to go into my Mega Latios, as he just throws off a Volt Switch. Does a lot of damage though, but I do take it, and maybe I can Roost up with my Mega Latios. I could be scared of Dazzling Gleam Tapu Koko as well. So, in comes the Mega Mawile. Now this is a 50-50. I could Earthquake here, I could Roost. I kind of was hoping that he would go for, I don't know, something predicting me to switch out, or maybe predict me to not attack him, but he does make the right play and Sucker Punches me right there, and unfortunately Mega Latios goes down. So now I'm like, alright, let's go Kartana. You're my last hope, my last resort Pokemon. Let's Swords Dance up and hope for the win, because I have to Swords Dance first, always with Kartana, because you can't go for Last Resort unless you use all your known moves. So that's why we only have 2 attacking moves. Well, 1 attacking move and then 1 other move boosting our attack. So it brings in Skarmory over here as I go for the Swords Dance. He doesn't know if I'm fighting him Z or not. He could be fearing it. Fighting Z should knock out Skarmory from that range, because Kartana's so dang strong, 181 attack. So he decides to stack the Dragonite over here, but I decide to go for another Swords Dance because I was like, there's no way I can knock him out with Last Resort from this range. So I was like, alright, I'll just go for a Swords Dance. Maybe he'll go for Counter or something like that, hoping that I won't be fighting him Z. Or maybe go for a Roost, but Roost would be kind of bad for him, because what if I Swords Dance up again? Maybe you go for Whirlwind. So at this point in the game, I'm like, oh my god, I might be able to do it. Hoping that Dragonite stays frozen, and it does. And Kartana Swords Dance all the way up, gets the Last Resort off, and now I am getting that Beast Boost with +1 speed. Greninja's gone, which was Choice Scarf, I'm guessing. The only Pokemon that could be able to outspeed me, unless it's Tapu Koko's randomly Choice Scarf, which I would cry. But you don't run Volt Switch with Choice Scarf Tapu Koko. So now I'm just like, come on, Kartana, you got this. Knock out the Tapu Koko. And I'm like, oh my god. This Swords Dance Last Resort Kartana actually did it. I never would have expected it to actually do something like this, but it actually did it. And also, he was like predicting me to not be this set. He was predicting me to be Fighting Z as I waste my Fighting Z on the Dragonite. And then he'd maybe want to go into like Tapu Koko to outspeed me, not predicting me to be +1 speed Kartana, timid Kartana at least. So this is pretty awesome for me. I really could have played this game a lot better though, like kept Magnezone and not wasted it on that Mega Mawile, but I didn't predict Focus Punch. Who could predict Focus Punch on the Mega Mawile? Mega Mawile, I was expecting it to just like click Play Rough or something. Or maybe even Knockoff, I don't know. Knockoff could be bad. Knocking off my Choice Scarf though. But yeah, Landorus D comes out. I'm just going to one-shot that as well. We're +1 all the way with our Swords Dance and gaining a lot of speed. And that is pretty much going to be a Last Resort Kartana late game sweep. Knocking out all these Pokemon. Mega Mawile, the last Pokemon, it's already weakened enough, and plus, I think I can just one-shot it, even if it feels like at max HP, potentially, because I just Metronomed all the way up. Like, this is a powerful Last Resort at +6. So, tries to go for the Sucker Punch. We live that. We're max HP on Kartana, so we're going to live a lot of hits, and down it goes. So that is a GG to Kevin. Like, that was crazy game. I did not expect Kartana to do that at all. That was just insane. I'm still flabbergasted by that. So... anyways, we got another game here versus PrinceAli. He got a scary team with Sand Offense, doubling the speed of Excadrill's speed, so that's going to be a little annoying. Probably Ash Greninja. Charizard could be X or Y. I think it's a Y whenever I see Sand and Tapu Fini. Good Defogger and good weather. Then Tangrowth, you know, good for Tapu Koko switch-ins. So, all around great team on Ali's parts. So, this is going to be a tough game. I could potentially trap the Tapu Fini with my Whirlpool and Perish Song. That's what I'm going to try and do. So that's why I wanted to lead off with Azumarill. Maybe he doesn't have a too good switch into Azumarill looking at his team. He leads off with Excadrill. Maybe he wants to get his rocks up, but he does not want to stay in. He goes into Medusa over here, and I'm like, yes, I get to trap this Tangrowth right off the bat. So go for the Whirlpool. Luckily, no miss. I always am so scared of missing Whirlpool, because once you miss it, they're like, oh my god, I just dodged a bullet right there. Because they could just switch right out and predict me to be Sap Sipper Azumarill with no attacking moves, really. I do have, you know, Toxic, but, you know, that's not going to really do much when you have a Tapu Fini in the back with Misty Surge. Misty Terrain, at least. Misty Surge, what? Misty Terrain. So, yeah, he just goes for knockoff, gets rid of my Leftovers, which kind of sucks. Azumarill really needs that Leftovers. Sometimes you'd see Rest Azumarill, just in case you get knocked off with the Leftovers. I just have Toxic Protect, Whirlpool, and Prayer Song, so... Rest could be nice sometimes for Azumarill. So, over here, he tries to Sleep Powder me, which is interesting. So, he's not a Soul Vest, so that's good to know. But it doesn't really matter, because the Tangrowth is going to go down. But maybe since he's not a Soul Vest, he doesn't have HP Fire. He could knock off as I go into Ferrothorn, but I'm pretty sure he has, like, Leaf Storm, maybe Sleep Powder, Earthquake knockoff, maybe. That's usually what maybe Tangrowth would want to run. Maybe not Leaf Storm, maybe Giga Drain, but most of the time they run Leaf Storm with a Sleep Powder variant, I would say. So now just going to Ferrothorn. I can be immune to Sleep Powder since I'm a Grass type, and he just knocks me off and gets rid of my Leftovers, which also sucks as well. So getting rid of Leftovers is kind of huge. I do need that longevity, maybe living hits from Excadrill, Earthquake, stuff like that, maybe even Greninja, because he could potentially get Spikes up and just weaken my entire team, which is really bad, because Excadrill plus Greninja is it's a toughie. So in comes the Charizard over here. I'm going to go into Tyranitar, predicting it to be Charizard Y. Predicted to probably just throw off a Fire Blast. Tyranitar could take that pretty easily. Unless he predicts me to go into Tyranitar and go for a Focus Blast, that could be kind of bad. And also if he was Charizard X, maybe I can live a Earthquake. He could be inclined to go for a Dragon Dance, but what if I just stay in with Ferrothorn and throw off a Thunder Wave or something like that? That could be kind of bad for him. So, it is Charizard Y right there with the Drought. He throws off the Fire Blast. And also, I like the Charizard Y's name, Khaleesi. I think that's a Game of Thrones reference as well. So, I love Game of Thrones, one of the best TV shows. So, anyways, I just switched out my Tyranitar over here into Latios. Should be able to take a Focus Blast pretty well. Hopefully, he's not Dragon Pulse and randomly goes for that. Also, Focus Blast does a decent amount since Charizard Y is a strong monster. As Latios does have Roost, so I wouldn't be too scared of it. He does have the Tyranitar in the back, so I do want to kind of predict that to want to come in, but he does bring in the Tapu Fini, so that's a good play. Tapu Fini kind of stops this Mega Latios from really doing much since I don't have Psychic on this. I have Draco Meteor. And also, I'm not too sure, since I'm not grounded, I don't know if Misty Terrain weakens my dragon moves at least. I think I have to be grounded to maybe be weakened, but if I'm attacking a grounded Pokemon, I think it gets weakened as well. I'm not too sure, I forget. But yeah, I just throw off an Earthquake predicting Tyranitar at least, because I don't want to get Pursuit trapped. Maybe I can live in Pursuit, but if he's banded, that could be kind of bad. So yeah, over here, I want to go into Azumarill potentially, and maybe Whirlpool this Tapu Fini, as he might want to just throw off a Nature's Madness, maybe a Moonblast, predict me to switch out. I feel like Nature's Madness would easily come out over here, but I wanted to go into Ferrothorn first, because maybe he wants to bring in Tyranitar, and Tyranitar could be battle Banded Stone Edge, and Azumarill does not appreciate a Banded Stone Edge. So he does go into Tyranitar right there. I was kind of expecting it, since Tyranitar is a nice mid-ground play for that, since he might expect me to want to go into Azumarill, since Azumarill is really good switching to Tapu Fini. Except maybe he's like, I don't know, max special attack Moonblast, and that could really hurt, since I am running a defensive Azumarill, not a specially defensive one. So he throws out the Banded Crunch, I'm guessing, because that did so much damage as I get my Stealth Rock Slip, so now he might be forced to potentially Rapid Spin with Excadrill or Defog with Fini, since Charizard Y has very limited switch-ins, only like one left probably, since it is 4 times weak to Stealth Rocks anyways, unless he EV'd the HP correctly. So I think you have to be an odd number of HP to switch in on Stealth Rock twice. But yeah, I go to Azumarill over here, taking the Crunch, because I'm pretty sure I can take it, but unfortunately he gets the defense drop. I'm like, ooh, that's going to be able to two-shot me. I do not want to stay in on Tyranitar, because after that defense drop, that could be kind of bad for me. So I actually switch out over here as he pulls in nice switch into Tapu Fini, so I was like, dang it, man. If I just Whirlpooled right there, I would have caught the Tapu Fini, and then I can Perish Song it, and then it'll be gone. And then I can potentially maybe get Rocks back up and get the Charizard Y at bay. So I actually wanted to go into Tyranitar over here, because Tyranitar would be like the only Pokemon that could take a Crunch from the other Tyranitar, since I'm pretty sure it's banded. So kind of sucks though, since we both have Sand Streamers and he has an Excadrill, potentially Sand Rush, so that's kind of dangerous. So over here I am just going to throw off a Stone Edge, as he actually throws off a Moonblast. I could take that pretty well, since I am a Soul Vest and the Sand is up, so it's pretty much just +2 special defense. And Stone Edge is a nice 2-bit KO on the Tapu Fini, so he has to choose either to weaken me even more. It could do a lot more damage since Sand is gone, or he has to choose to sack the Tapu Fini to the Stone Edge, maybe hoping for a miss at least, but get rid of the Rocks with Defog. And his Excadrill could not even have Rapid Spin as well, but I feel like it should. Excadrills usually always have Rapid Spin, even on Sand Rush. They have like Swords, Iron Head, Earthquake. He could have Rock Slide though, and with no Rapid Spin, because Rock Slide could be nice for Zapdos and other Pokemon that Earthquake and Iron Head don't hit. Maybe like a Road and Wash, something like that, or a Charizard. Why? I don't know. But Iron Head will do a lot, especially if he's Steelium Z. So I decided to just stay in over here. Maybe he'd overpredict me to go into Latios. Maybe he has Dragon Pulse or something. Maybe he predicts me to switch into Latios as he goes into Tyranitar. So I just wanted to stay in, and maybe also he'd miss Focus Blast. But unfortunately, none of that happened, and my Tyranitar goes down to the Focus Blast. So now I go into my Latios. Now I'm just going to throw off a Draco Meteor. It does not knock out Charizard Y, since Charizard Y has pretty decent special defense, but it does a decent amount. Should be able to knock it out with the next Draco or Ice Beam, as he just throws off a Fire Blast, and that does so much damage in the Drought. Like, that is an easy 2-shot. Even if I Roost, I might even go down. So I was thinking about it. I was like, if I Roost over here, I might still go down to the Fire Blast. I'm not too sure, because that did so much damage. So I decided to just throw off another Draco Meteor, hoping to pick off the Charizard Y, but he makes a nice play going into Tyranitar. But it is weakened in Tyranitar, which is nice, and maybe even potentially wasting Sand turns, so I could potentially Roost over here and maybe live a hit, but I was like, maybe I can just knock it out with Earthquake. Hopefully it's not a Choice Scarf Tyranitar, but I'm pretty sure it's not, since it's crunched did so much damage to my Ferrothorn and Azumarill as well. So I'm hoping that I can knock it out with Earthquake. Unfortunately, Tyranitar is a bulky monster. It lives it, giant dead, and it knocks me out with the crunch, so that's pretty unfortunate. Now I don't really have too much for this Tyranitar and Excadrill and Greninja. Magnezone is nice, but Magnezone is kind of going to be in a pickle, because it can't knock out Excadrill and Greninja with one move. Like, it can knock out maybe Excadrill if it's weakened enough. I'm not too sure what kind of Excadrill it is. It could be Z-move, but I'm just going to go to my Kartana over here and just hope that maybe he switches out as I go for a Swords Dance, but he just stays in and goes for a Crunch, because he could be fearing a Sacred Sword, but I guess he's not fearing it. So Crunch is a 2-shot, and he gets a defense drop, which kind of really does suck, because maybe I could live a hit from an Excadrill, because maybe he's not Adamant and not Light Orb, and if he is Z-move, he could probably just click it, but maybe he's Steelium Z and it can't knock me out. He'd have to be maybe Groundium Z, and usually Excadrills don't run Groundium Z. So I get that +1 speed. I outspeed Greninja if he is going to be Ash Greninja, unless he's Choice Scarfed. He brings in the Gurren Lagann. Nice anime, by the way, as he just goes for an Earthquake and easily knocks me out because I have that -1 defense, and he is Life Orb. So even if I wasn't -1 defense, the Life Orb should be able to easily knock me out with a Jolly Nature from the range I was at with Kartana. If I just had a little smidge of HP more, I could live it without the defense drop, but it really didn't matter. So unfortunately, Kartana does not win the game over here. It could have won the game, but it didn't. If he just switched out that Tyranitar into maybe like Sack Charizard or something like that, I wish he did. That would have been like perfect, because then I could just Latios-Mega the Charizard, get that +1 speed, I'd be at max HP. I could maybe even knock out Excadrill. Excadrill can't knock me out in one shot, even though Excadrill probably would live a +2 Latios-Mega, but Metronome boosted, I don't know. But oh well. So now my last hope is maybe Azumarill can pull it off. I actually thought that maybe he'd probably want to switch out, but he didn't, so I don't know. He might, I don't know. Ferrothorn, I should have just not clicked Protect right there. I clicked Protect, maybe I should have just got Rocks up as he switched out Excadrill into the Charizard. I actually forgot that my Leftovers were knocked off as well. That's why I tried to do, like, get some Protect Leftovers recovery, but that didn't happen. So he has actually Tailwind on the Charizard, so that's pretty interesting. And kind of bad, actually, because now everything is super dang fast, the Excadrill and the Greninja. So even if Magnezone Choice Scarf was able to outspeed the Excadrill and knock it out, it's not going to be able to outspeed it with Tailwind up. So goes for Earthquake. I actually do live it, so that's pretty good. I throw off a Whirlpool, so the Excadrill is going to get weakened a lot over here. I can go for Protect over here, maybe a double Protect, and let it take some nice Whittle, and maybe I can get a triple Protect. I think that's the highest you can go. I don't think you can get a quadruple Protect. But if I switch out, the Whirlpool goes away, so there's really no way I can win. And since my Leftovers is gone as well, it just wasn't looking good. So that looks to be a loss for this team. Unfortunately, I don't know. There's really much I could do. Maybe I could have not get defense dropped my Azumarill earlier. Yeah, that's like the only thing that I could have thought of. Because when I switched out on the Tyranitar with my Azumarill, and he switched into Tapu Fini, that was just really, really bad for me because he gets the defog off. And maybe if I Whirlpooled the Tapu Fini on the switch, I could Parrot Song it, get rid of it, and then maybe I could get my Rocks back up. Because I think if Ferrothorn did take the crunch before I switched into Azumarill, but it was potentially maybe a shot to live a hit from Greninja, maybe a Hydro Pump or something like that, or Dark Pulse. But at the same time, Ferrothorn couldn't really get Rocks up on anything else, now that I think about it. So yeah, it wasn't a too good matchup. His team is just really good. So yeah, GG to PrinceAli. And now the last game over here, we got Johan. He has Tapu Koko Hawlucha, very scary. I think he always brings this Tapu Koko Hawlucha though. And then Fernape and Charizard. Man, we got some hyper offense. And then a random Pelipper. So that's probably for the Greninja. And maybe it's Ash Greninja just wants to click Hydro Pump and Rain. I'm not too sure. But yeah, scary team. Maybe we can trap something. I just wanted to lead off a Kartana over here because Kartana, looking at his team, I was like, yeah, you're not going to do anything with Hawlucha. Like, he could literally just go Tapu Koko and then Hawlucha and just knock you out. I'd have to have, like, more than +2 speed, maybe. Oh, probably just +2 speed, because Hawluchas don't like to run a lot of speed anyways. I don't think they run enough speed to outspeed +2 Timid Kartana, at least. They usually run around, like, 310 or around that range, 311. But anyways, he actually leads off in Fernape as I just want to Swords Dance up, and he Swords Dances up as well. So we both got the same idea. And I just stacked my Kartana to the Infernape. I actually forgot when I was playing this that I wasn't running max speed Kartana. 331 speed. I wish I was. I think Kartana's speed is 348 and Infernape's is 346. So I would have been faster if I was running a lot of speed. Maybe it should, but you don't really run into Infernape in the OU tier, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's good to know that Infernape is Swords Dance Flare Blitz, and I think it was Life Orb as well. So I just bring in my Latios over here, and I do believe I just throw off, I think a Draco Meteor or an Earthquake, one of those. I can easily just throw off an Earthquake. I should go for an Earthquake, even if Tapu Koko comes in. If it's not Shuka Berry, which it is, it should be able to take it either way, I think, since I'm not running max attack. So that is a timid Tapu Koko, since every shiny Tapu Koko is timid. That's good to know. And it's good to know that Shuka, so maybe it's HP Ice, Roost, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, I'm guessing. But he does have the Dazzling Gleam, but I should be able to take that since I know it's Shuka Berry and it's not Choice Spec. So that's why I wanted to stay in, and I just wanted to go for another Earthquake. Even though weakening my Mega Latios is kind of bad, because now Greninja can just like spam Hydro Pump potentially, but maybe I could live one Hydro Pump and Roost up. But he can just throw off a Dark Pulse, but I do have my Azumarill in the back, so you never really know. So he does go into Greninja over here. Could potentially be Protein, trying to trick me, but You never really know. He actually switches out the Greninja over here into Hawlucha. So he probably wants to get a free setup on maybe Ferrothorn coming in. Ferrothorn could potentially have, you know, Thunder Wave, so I'm not too sure if that was a good idea. But at the same time, Hawlucha might have subs too, maybe even just Drain Punch, Swords Dance, stuff like that, and just Acrobatics. So actually bringing Azumarill over here because I was hoping to maybe trap the Greninja. And also Greninja doesn't really do much to Azumarill either way, unless he has Gunk Shot, which could be bad. But I don't think he has Gunk Shot. So he doesn't decide to Swords Dance over here. He actually tries to Acrobatics me because maybe he was scared of Play Rough. So I get a nice Toxic off as I take that Acrobatics pretty dang well. And now I can go for a Whirlpool and get some nice residual damage as Acrobatics looks to be able to two-shot me after that. But maybe after a Leftovers Protect. I was thinking about going for Protect instead of Whirlpool, but I was like, maybe I can live 2 more. So after a Protect, I think I can live another Acrobatics unless he Swords Dances up, which could be kind of bad predicting me to go for Protect, but maybe he won't predict Protect, and maybe he thinks I don't have it, and he thinks he can knock me out at this range of HP. So I go for Protect right here. Whirlpool and Toxic is racking up pretty dang nicely, and if Azumarill lives this, it did a lot already. Like maybe it can take on the Greninja later on. I can Protect on it, maybe live a Dark Pulse since I do resist it, maybe even take a Hydro Pump as well. Even though his Acrobatics is going to bring me down to a very low amount of HP. But when there's Leftovers and Protect, there's a way, pretty much. Like I can bring that boy right back up to half, potentially, if I get the plays right. So luckily enough, I beat a Hawlucha with this Azumarill, which is awesome. I mean, we both switched it in at the same time, which is funny. And we beat the 1v1. I mean, granted, he could have maybe Swords Danced up, but at the same time, you don't really know what kind of Azumarill I'm running. You could be Play Rough, Belly Drum, stuff like that. So he was just banking on me being offensive Azumarill. Nobody really expects a Sap Sipper one. You don't run into it that much, but when you do, oh man, it can be a pain in the butt. So it brings in Greninja. I just go Protect, get some Leftovers. He locks himself in Dark Pulse is what I'm thinking, at least, if he is Choice Specs. Now I go into Tyranitar, and I can just easily take the Dark Pulse. And also I can take a Hydro Pump as well, since I am a Soul Vest with the Sand Up. And I can just throw off a free Stone Edge and potentially knock out a Pokemon because he doesn't have a too good switching to Stone Edge. Greninja's going to take a bunch. Pelipper's going to take a bunch. Yeah, not much else he can really do. So he switches out into Pelipper, getting that Rain Up, so I guess he maybe wants to power up his Greninja's water attacking moves, maybe wants to go for a Z Hydro or something, if he does have the Z move at least. Since that Dark Pulse didn't do as much as I thought, I think it will do a little bit more if he will Specs, looking at the calcs. So brings in Fernape over here. Now I do want to stay in over here because, I don't know, I just didn't really need Tyranitar to be honest, as he just has the Mach Punch and does not knock me out, so maybe he doesn't even have close combat. He potentially might just have Swords Dance, Flare Blitz, Mach Punch, and potentially maybe Earthquake or Stone Edge, or Thunder Punch as his last move. Since Mach Punch, maybe he's Iron Fist and he just wants to have that for, like, you know, priority and any Pokemon that's faster, like a Greninja. Even though Greninja, if you run into that, you could have Water Shuriken and just knock your Infernape out, so I'm not too sure. Maybe he even has Grass Knot on there, I don't know. Or HP Ice, since he's Life Orb with Swords Dance, I don't know. It could be anything, really, with Infernape. But in comes the Greninja. He actually packs the Ice Beam, which is interesting, since he's not Choice Specs, judging on that damage as well. Since I see Greninja all the time, I could just gauge the damage pretty easily. Like, that's definitely not Choice Specs, so it would do a little bit more. And now I just pull a double into Mega Latios, predicting him to probably want to go into Charizard. Turns out to be Charizard Y, and I get a free Draco Meteor off. Draco Meteor kind of just like claims one, even though Charizard does live one at least, since he's not X. It would be putting it in range of a Magnezone's Thunderbolt, which should be able to win the game. And also Drought is up, so his Water move is going to do absolutely nothing. He'd have to go for a Dark Pulse, and unless he's Dark EMZ, he's not going to be able to maybe knock out my Magnezone. I don't even know if Dark EMZ can knock out a Magnezone. So, actually packs Air Slash, which is interesting. You don't see Air Slash too much on Charizard Y, but hey, to each their own. I don't know. You usually just see Fire Blast, Solar Beam, Focus Blast, and maybe like Defog, Roost, Tailwind, Earthquake I've seen as well. Earthquake is actually nice for Heattrans if you don't want to miss Focus Blast. And Focus Blast is mainly just for like Tyranitar, I guess. So in comes Magnezone. We're going to Thunderbolt that. Knock it out with Choice Scarf. He'd be able to outspeed it. Luckily, it wasn't a Tailwind Charizard. That could be scary. And then in comes Greninja. Goes for the Water EMZ, which I kind of expected since you have Pelipper randomly on this team. But just to power it up. I don't know. I feel like Pelipper should have Mega Swampert on there. Maybe if he had a Mega Swampert, he could do a lot better. Since the Drought kind of really hindered the Greninja. But I guess, you know, he just wanted to try it out. Since he just wanted to maybe mash up a bunch of Pokemon together that are really offensive. So Magnezone takes that pretty well, even in Sun. That's a Water EMZ Hydro Pump, I would say. Takes half, though, and I could live pretty much anything else, even a Dark Pulse, I would say, since he's not Specs, and I can knock him out with Thunderbolt, and that's a GG to Johan. Or Johan, I don't know. I like Johan better. Sounds like Johan. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do your thing. And common question of the day is, I guess, what is your favorite Perish Songer? I've used Azumarill before with Perish Song now, and I've used Chimecho with Perish Song Rap. We got some other ones, maybe Mega Gengar Perish Song with Shadow Tag, also Lapras with Perish Song, and maybe some others that I'm forgetting. But yeah, does channel learn Perish Song? I feel like it does. I don't know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do your thing, and yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace, peace.